Hello, fellow Alkies. Back to beer time. We got the last beer out of the New Belgium variety pack. Mural Agua Fresca Cerveza. I'm sure I butchered that. Don't really care either. We got watermelon, lime, hibiscus, and agave in a 4.0 ABV catalyst. I have a really bad habit of not actually finishing the videos for a whole variety pack. So I'm a little proud that we finally made it through one. As you can see, we got a nice warmer color here. Kind of pinkish. I don't know if... almost looks like a sour. Not a whole lot for the smell going on. Much more carbonated than the last, what was it, passion fruit Kolsch. And I think this one we could say is better than the passion fruit Kolsch as well, but not as good as the other two, which is a Voodoo Ranger and something, I can't even remember what. There isn't a whole hell of a lot going on here. It's very light, it is crisp, it is relatively fruity, not tart whatsoever. If you like fruity and not tart, I know there's plenty of people that feel that way, that like the fruity beers have gotten too tart and it's kind of ruining the point for some. And it's only 4.0. I feel the color is a bit discouraging. It doesn't have quite the strong taste that you would imagine out of a beer this color. I know this is a collaboration brew with Primus, or yeah, Myco Cerveza Seria. I don't know. Bunch of Mexican words, but some Mexico City brewery makes craft beer there. New Belgium, them, you know, kissed and made a beer. This is what their love child was. And it's okay. It is quite a bit different. We don't really have like agave in beer. Hibiscus isn't super common, and I really do like hibiscus, and that's probably the saving grace of this beer, is I can taste quite a bit of hibiscus in it. And the lime and watermelon, the watermelon is relatively prevalent, but it's kind of like the watery, like actual watermelon. Don't think Jolly Rancher, candy, whatever watermelon. But it is a good mixture of those four flavors. The lime is incredibly subtle, if non-existent. But I mean, it's good. It's kind of cool. It's definitely different. Would I buy a 6-pack of these? No. If I was at a restaurant and they had a bunch of crap, and then they had this, you know, if it was like Bud Light, Yingling, whatever, and they had this one, I'd probably end up getting this one instead. It is good. It is drinkable. It is purchasable. Is it something you should really buy a 6-pack of or hunt down? No. Something you want to tell your friends about? Probably not. And that, like, only being a 4.0, not really worth the money, I guess. Unless you really like light beer, like super light gravity beer, and you know you plan on drinking a 12-pack in a day, which I would not suggest anyway. 4.0 is kind of a letdown across the board. I like to have, you know, 1 or maybe 2 beers an evening. You know, have dinner, have a beer or 2, or have one when I get off of work, and then one after dinner when I'm watching television with my wife and family. A 4.0 isn't what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for a good, like, you know, 7 or 8 generally, because I don't chug beers like a heathen or a degenerate, unless it's a, you know, a good degenerate day, which are few and far between the older I get. Yeah, plenty of hibiscus. The agave is there. Watermelon is, though, obviously the main flavor of this one. New Belgium 4.0. I didn't look up the IBUs. I'm sure it's 100% irrelevant because there's nothing bitter in this beer whatsoever. I think it's like 110 calories or something. So on the lighter side. Tastes way lighter than it looks, but there is quite a bit of flavor to it still somehow. Like there is a bit of that watermelon, agave, hibiscus punch somehow how light it is. But maybe you disagree. But I wouldn't hunt it down. It's good. You know, it's not a disappointment to have it in this variety pack. It is a good beer. It's different. It's fun. But I wouldn't buy it on its own. It's just kind of a little slightly pleasant surprise in the variety pack. And with that being said, I think that's it. So I will see you guys on the next one. Later.